Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. Today, let's talk about the upcoming transit of Mars in Virgo. So, what's so special about Mars going into Virgo? Well, it will be directly opposite to transiting Saturn in Pisces. They will be in mutual aspect in the Pisces Virgo axis. They will be 7 places away from each other. And whenever Saturn and Mars are together or in a mutual aspect, they increases the hustle, they increases the effort, they demand more courage, more endurance in our life, whatever we are doing in our journeys. So Saturn in Pisces, on one hand, Saturn will teach you the value of discipline. Whereas on the other hand, Mars in Virgo will push you to take instant actions, taking quick decisions to get things done. It's intuition versus logic because they are in the axis of Pisces and Virgo. It's your wisdom versus I have to work very hard, I have to push myself. It's your faith versus the inner critique. So these are the areas where you will be working the most. And the overall theme of this transit is to enhance your endurance, to enhance your power in life. And also, there's a reminder to trust yourself. So let's see how this transit of Saturn and Mars are going to work for you as per your ascendant or as per your moon sign. Saturn will be aspecting Mars here, Mars will be aspecting Saturn, and Mars is in Virgo from 28th of July to 13th of September. For Aries, Saturn in the 12th house in Pisces, Mars in Virgo in the 6th house. This transit of Saturn and Mars opposite to each other shows your first priority should be your well being, your health, both emotionally and physically. What Mars is doing, it brings too much of work for you. Maybe it's not your professional work. Let's say you're dedicated towards a certain thing in your life. You're giving your best effort. There's a lot of use of your physical energy, your efforts, so you are in this survival mode. Maybe you are working very hard, you're draining yourself into something. So Saturn is showing the need to slow down a bit, detach a bit from what is triggering you right now. Sixth house is the house of service. So, what you are giving to others as service, maybe your profession, maybe how you're taking care of everyone, but now it's time to take care of yourself as well because health needs great focus. And Saturn shows the need to disconnect from the drama of world and focus on your well-being. Focus on what makes you happy. You don't have to focus too much on logic, too much on the practicality of life. Disconnect from that. Rest a bit. This is what you are learning because Mars will push you. Hey, let's do this, let's do more of my work, let's just face the situation, face the challenges. Of course you can face them very well, but what about preparation? What about healing yourself first, taking care of yourself first? So this is the imbalance which I see in the axis, the 12th and the 6th house axis. So for you, the first thing which you have to do is to take care of your health. No drama, I would say. If anyone is trying to pull you in their drama, also avoid that. Take care of your health and create a very disciplined routine with respect to your health, and also disciplined routine with respect to how you talk to people, how you create a boundary. That is very important. Protection is everything here, physically, emotionally, because a lot of other people's drama and their challenges are pouring into your life. You may overwork to attain a certain goal as well. So Saturn shows you can really slow down and still get your success beautifully. For Taurus, the Saturn Mars axis is happening in the 11th and the 5th house. Saturn in Pisces in the 11th house, and Mars in Virgo in your 5th house. Now, this is an axis which is very important with respect to how you are productive in life, how you utilize your skills, and how you gain something out of it, how you succeed because of your skills. And this house is also important for your happiness, how thoroughly you celebrate your life, how you enjoy your life, and how that impacts your productivity and your success in life. So, Mars in fifth house um, is showing a challenge with respect to expressing yourself. You might be very wonderful in your skill set, whatever you are doing in life, but you're not giving enough value to your work. You're not giving enough value to your true potential and talents. Other than that, you're forcing yourself to do more. You're forcing yourself to compete and go ahead of others. Mars gets become like a warrior in the house of happiness. You're not enjoying things, you're not celebrating your achievements at this point, but constantly struggling about what you haven't achieved. People around you may look like they have achieved more than you, so you're pushing yourself. You have reached to a point where you're not utilizing your skills in a great way. Mars also shows that people who are supposed to be friends, people who are supposed to be emotionally supportive to you, you have struggles with them. There's a term called the bad blood. So it shows certain connections gone bitter. But there was hope, there was love, there was friendship. Saturn Mars is impacting the friendships that in the deepest way. I think this transit will reveal who is your true well wisher and who was not. So Mars shows in the fifth house, you don't have to doubt your skills. You don't have to doubt your emotions, what you have given to others. And Saturn shows in the 11th house that whatever you are creating in life, your goals, your dedication, it's not going to be wasted. It's just a time of maybe things slowing down, maybe you have everything with you, but others, the people in your circle, are draining you and they're delaying your reach to your goals. So you should sharply focus on what you want in life more than making other people happy or pleasing others. And if you have children, this transit can impact your connection with them adversely. For Gemini, this opposition of Saturn and Mars is happening in your 10th and the 4th house. Saturn in Pisces in the 10th house, Mars in Virgo in the 4th house. So this is something which deeply impacts the work life balance, the balance between home and your professional journey. The Mars shows that there are struggles with certain people with whom you have emotional bonding. There is some kind of responsibility. It's very overwhelming with respect to your people, your home. Maybe some important deal is happening with respect to your house. So Mars shows some struggle with respect to the 4th house. It is impacting your emotional peace. And the 10th house, Saturn in Pisces, shows that you're sure shot on the path of success, but there is some waiting. Or it is simply that your work is demanding your effort and your energy in a great way. And your emotions, your mind is divided between home and the profession. There are certain triggers at home, and then with that trigger you have to be more dedicated towards your work. So this is how this axis may challenge you. But I feel, Mars, Saturn in the Kendras in the transit opposite to each other, and that too in the fourth and the 12th house, sorry, the fourth and the 10th house axis. This is a time when you will develop great endurance towards life, towards every situation in life. There's more power, there's more courage you will find at this time. You will reach to a certain maturity, attaining a lot of strength at this time. With this transit, the main thing which you are learning is you can count on yourself. You can trust yourself that you can do wonders, you can overcome everything in life. So, strength becomes the part of this transit. It shows some kind of a business deal or some kind of work project. It requires immense dedication and time, but it will be very rewarding in your life. From here you start walking towards more success, because success doesn't depend, not only depends upon your skill set, but on your dedication, on your strength, and how you trust yourself. So this is where you are succeeding. For Cancer, Saturn in the ninth house in Pisces, Mars in Virgo in the third house. This opposition of Saturn Mars is showing be patient, be very courageous in every aspect of life. This is the very axis of courage and faith. And we need courage to have faith. We need that a blend of these two aspects of life together to succeed, to be more strong. So, Mars in Virgo shows verbal conflicts with people, and sometimes the outer criticism may become the inner criticism. Other people's voice and their opposition may become your own inner opposition. You may be against yourself. Don't let that happen. Mars in Virgo shows, despite of doing your best, showing up with courage, be very patient. The ninth house Saturn in Pisces is asking for faith. You keep continue with your actions, your dedication, and I see opposition in your life in the form of someone who is a teacher, a guru, maybe someone senior. There are struggles, there is opposition. Maybe the other person is not showing faith in your capacity. Or maybe you are given certain opportunity that you don't have enough faith in yourself at this time. Don't let that happen. This is a time when you will grow a lot with respect to your work, with your skill set and your courage. Mars shows that whatever you are doing in life, whatsoever aspect of life, you are doing tremendous hard work. You are doing your best, and it's not easy what you are doing. You are fully dedicated to what you are doing. Continue with that. Do not lose patience. Do not lose your strength at this time. And I would say, choose your battles very wisely. You don't have to fight with everyone to prove yourself. Also, this transit may bring unexpected travel. You have to commute a lot, and that might be very draining and frustrating in nature. So, physically, also, I see a lot of exertion because of your responsibilities and your commitments. For Leo, Mars in Virgo in the second house, Saturn in Pisces in the eighth house. This axis is very significant with respect to finances. This is an axis which is very important with respect to family life as well. So, Mars in the second house in Virgo, and in the opposition, there is Saturn in Pisces. This shows you versus the family, what you truly want for life. You have a dream, you have a plan for yourself. It's very different from what your family expects. So there is a difference, there's a conflict between what you have been thinking about life, your financial plans, your values versus their values, and what they expect from you financially. There are financial liabilities on you at this time. This could also be about a major situation with respect to a decision being made regarding assets, inheritance, property. If you are married or you are in a relationship, this axis will impact you. It shows, again, what you value the most. It's very different from your partner's value. What you may expect from your partner is quick action, quick decision making, to see the truth, Whereas this person is not looking at the truth. This person may bring confusion. This person is not giving you clarity. So you feel a bit of trigger. You feel challenged by this person's response towards you and what you expect from this person. The same may reflect in a business partnership or contracts as well. And also, this axis is showing take care of your well being, to not lose your temper. Don't say anything without thinking, without processing it. The words may hurt you, and your other person's words may hurt you. Your words may hurt someone else. The best thing is what you can do is work on healing your physical well being, your emotional well being. Don't take quick decisions at this time, and do not take decisions out of pressure, out of impulse. Be patient before you do anything at this time. For Virgo, Mars in the first house in Virgo, Saturn in Pisces in the seventh house. So, this first and seventh house axis, occupied by Mars and Saturn in opposition, shows struggles with the people coming from the seventh house. It could be your clients, it could be your business partner, it could be the people you meet in public, it could be your marriage partner, romantic partner. Seventh house is also the people you connect with on a daily basis. You meet these people, you may not know them personally, but you know them somehow through your work, through your social connections, community. So, Mars in Virgo shows a struggle to express yourself. It shows a built up anger, pressure in your life. It's like you are taking the pain of other people. You are fulfilling your responsibilities, and you're not saying anything. You're not showing them, like, see how I'm doing your work, I'm doing everything, and I'm protecting you, and I'm not saying anything. But you're feeling so pressurized by people out here. You're very dedicated towards your path, but there's a lot of aggression, or I would say impulse over here. Unable to express yourself, because when you will express yourself, it may lead to conflict and arguments. And why are you triggered? If you see Saturn in the seventh house in Pisces, the people's expectation, they don't see your true struggles. All they do is judgment, being judged, but not looking at your true situation. That is what triggers you the most. And this trigger, this judgment, comes from your partner. Suppose the partner expects you in a certain way, the partner expects you to act in a certain way, but not understanding your struggles in life, your personal struggles. It could be your work situation where you are expected to be very dedicated. You have to give a lot of time and energy, but you may feel that the other person at the work front is misusing your power, not giving you enough time to rest. So this axis, this opposition of Saturn Mars in the seventh and the first house axis, is about struggles with people. It could be ego issues, it could be power struggles with people. So overall, it shows do not act with anger, because it will really expand your issues. Be very disciplined and dedicated with your values, with your belief system at this time. And don't worry about the judgment or the criticism right now. For Libra, Mars in Virgo in the 12th house, Saturn in Pisces in the 6th house. This is showing struggles with sleep. Mars in the 12th house in Virgo is constantly, the brain is processing something about life, something which you're struggling with, your blocks in life, constantly thinking too much about rivalry, people who are sitting in the opposition. Mars is a very restless energy in the 12th house, which impacts your inner peace and how you operate with your thoughts in life. And Saturn in the 6th house is demanding your complete dedication and faith in life. 6th house is about challenges and victory both. So, with Saturn in the sixth house, you're definitely working towards at least one aspect of life which is hard, but you're dedicated, you're doing it very well. But Mars is showing internally there are doubts, there is fatigue, you're exhausted in creating a life of your dreams or overcoming a certain challenge. For some people, it could be legal issue with Saturn Mars in opposition in the sixth and 12th house. It could be simply struggling with hidden enemies. You know someone is your enemy and you're always worried what next will be done here, how this person will impact me. So constantly over worrying about things, or over worry about tomorrow, about future, about these people. So emotionally you are at war. And this needs to go away because it may impact your health, like blood pressure, migraine. So focus on restoring your health, your well-being. Focus more on spiritual work. This will really bring more clarity in your life. And also Mars in the 12th house shows you need to rest because whatever you are doing in life, developing in life, Saturn in 6th house, it will take some time. And you are doing very right. Whatever dedication you are showing every single day, you are doing wonderful. For Scorpio, Mars in Virgo in the 11th house, Saturn in Pisces in the 5th house. So this axis is about the internal hesitation, maturity. You have learned something recently, Scorpio. You have achieved great maturity recently in the last few months. Don't think that you are inexperienced. Don't think that you don't have the resources, the strength to move forward in life. Saturn shows maturity. But with all the strength, all the achievements and wisdom you have, going forward in life feels like a block because you feel when you will move forward, you may trigger people, you may upset people. You feel that I can win any battle, I can succeed in everything. But what if I create more enemies? What if the people who are already triggered by me try to tarnish my image? They try to block me. So, this is not your problem that what others will do, how others will react to your success. Keep going very dedicatedly. Mars in Virgo shows doing your best, and even no one is clapping for you right now. Be very dedicated towards what you are doing. Saturn in the fifth house, which is the house of emotions, emotional intelligence, and Mars in the house of success, it shows not being very happy with where you are and what you have achieved, and constant fear of falling down as well with respect to your success. But you're not falling down. There's a delay in some achievement. And this opposition also shows whether it's a long-term friendship or a romantic connection or relationship, it shows struggles in these relationships, struggles with children, because the other person, whether it's your child or your romantic partner, this person doesn't aligns with what you believe in. So that's why there are struggles with certain people. And just focus on your goals. You don't have to rush and fulfill them quickly. This is what you have to learn with this opposition of Saturn and Mars. For Sagittarius, Mars in Virgo in the 10th house, Saturn in Pisces in the 4th house. What to expect with this opposition of Saturn Mars in the 4th and the 10th house? So, Mars shows you will be very dedicated towards your career. And it's not easy because Mars shows with respect to your career, you are at war. You have some obstacles. Maybe there are people who are like hidden enemies at the work front because Mars rules the 12th house. So hidden enemies are there. Even if it's not about work or profession, Mars is showing you have something in your mind. You want to execute something, you have a certain plan, but you're already thinking a lot about what if my work is not supported? What if I'm not supported by people or society? So that kind of hindrance the Mars is showing. Maybe you and your thought process is blocking you right now, because what if others are not supporting you? And this sense of not being supported also comes from Saturn, from the fourth house in Pisces. Fourth house is so important for emotional connections, emotional compatibility. So fourth house Saturn in Pisces shows disconnect from people, from their validation, from their approval. Right now you must learn that and stay very focused towards how you want to do things in life, what is important for you right now. Maybe there are a lot of responsibilities on you right now, and that deeply impacts your courage, that deeply impacts your work as well, your courage as well. You feel conflicted. So, this Saturn Mars alignment in the fourth and the 10th house is about continue with what you believe in, continue with what you are doing, but with a pause. Saturn shows a pause in the fourth house. This pause is emotional pause, disconnecting from people, taking some time to rest, to focus on your dreams. Maybe it's a time when you have to reevaluate with respect to your career. Where are you going? Are you living your dream, or are you just working day and night with no goal in your mind? For Capricorn, Saturn in the third house in Pisces, Mars in Virgo in the ninth house. This is the time when you have to really stop fearing about the results, fearing about the outcome of what you are doing right now. Saturn in Pisces shows have courage with respect to your dreams, have courage with respect to your plans, your strategies in life. And the Mars in the ninth house shows people who are like guru, people who are witnessing you, your work, may feel that you're not on the right path, because somehow they expect you to walk on a very conventional path, traditional path in life. So people may question you, people may judge you, people may block you. It shows struggles with co-bonds and siblings, arguments, conflicts, blaming each other. So this might become your block right now, and this is a very important axis with respect to travel. So it shows that certain hurdles may happen while traveling. So third and the ninth house, Saturn Mars in opposition for Capricorn, it is about stop worrying about the blocks which may come in your path. Too much of overthinking about the outcome, too much of imagining of the worst case scenarios may happen in life, and to simply believe in your dreams, in your plans, whatever you are doing. You may try to do things very quickly at this time, but it may not give you the right results. Saturn wants you to take time in doing things. If you are a teacher, if you're in a profession where you have to talk a lot, you have to communicate a lot, you have to express yourself, you have to guide other people, in that profession, in that space, or maybe in general, when you're expressing yourself, you are talking about your life and your experiences, people may judge you, people may question your actions. Why did you do that? It was not necessary. So again, you don't have to give explanations to people. This is your journey. Embrace it with full strength. And most importantly, this transit reminds you of be very dedicated to your path. Be present, be consistent, and show up in life. Whatever you believe in, it will give you the the right success, what you truly deserve in life. Let's talk about Aquarius. So for Aquarius, Saturn in the second house in Pisces and Mars in the eighth house in Virgo. Number one for Aquarius, your health needs a lot of care because Mars being in Virgo and it is looking at Saturn, which is your first lord, it impacts your well being, it impacts your vitality, inflammation, blood pressure issues may happen. So, this transit may bring some pause for you because your health needs great focus. You have to really stop at this time to take care of yourself. And Mars may bring some unexpected issues in your partnerships where the other person expects you in a certain role, the other person expects you in a certain way, and you're very different. You are not bending as per that person, fitting into a role as per that person. So, because second and eighth house is about connections and relationships, it is about family bonds, it is about finances. So, like there can be financial struggles as well between you and your partner. It could be business partners, it could be financial struggles at home, unexpected expenditures because of family may happen, and this leads to a lot of verbal conflict as well. Maybe you are not the one who may say everything, but Mars shows life situations, unexpected changes, people, they may trigger you to speak and to be a part of conflict. Verbal war is shown by Saturn and Mars. So again, Saturn shows discipline with respect to speech, discipline with respect to what you say and how you say. It's very important because if you start using a very difficult kind of way of words and harshness is there in your speech, it will make things more terrible in your life. Saturn and Mars in the second and eighth house axis shows discipline with respect to how you use your finances. And if in this period you try to take care of your wealth and your money, you start focusing on saving something, it will help you in a long term. It will help you in the future. Learning to save, that is significant. And this axis greatly impacts the vitality and the health. Second house is what you consume as food, as information, what you say, what you hear, your values. And eighth house is what's buried deep within. So emotional chaos, conflicts with people directly impacts your well-being. Fear of judgment in relationships may be there, but this axis is bringing more patience with respect to relationships. This is where you are working the most. Let's talk about Pisces. Saturn in the first house in Pisces, Mars in Virgo in the seventh house. What do we expect at this time? At this time, Saturn Mars shows a major deal with respect to a property, a house may happen. This because they are in firstly Kendras, and first and seventh house is about deals, it's about contract. So a major deal with respect to a property or land or maybe a business may happen. It may not happen easily, but it will successfully happen. Also, Saturn is profession. So people may question your way of working at the professional front. They may challenge your way of working, your system, your skill set. Because you are not someone who may deliver results very quickly and they expect you to work very quickly, or they want you to follow a certain rule, they want you to follow their way of working. So Mars is this energy with respect to clients, with respect to the business partner or someone who carries authority in life, trying to impact your freedom, trying to push you to do things very quickly. So that opposition you may feel at this time. And Saturn in the first house of self. So Saturn shows that You will refrain from expressing yourself. You don't want to fight at this time. With respect to love, with respect to relationships, with respect to public life, you don't want to openly express yourself. You feel very restricted, you feel blocked, because you feel that if I say something, I will be misunderstood. If I say something, people will not understand my true identity. Struggles with identity, struggles with expression, because you fear the opposition, you fear the judgment or criticism, rather than judgment, criticism of people. They may not understand you. That is the struggle. So I think with the Saturn Mars in opposition in the first and seventh house axis, it's important to protect your space at this time. Do not react out of anger because other people are blaming you. You can protect yourself very diligently, but you don't have to be like them. This is what a big lesson you have to learn, because this axis, first and seventh house, is about you versus the world, your perspective versus the people's perspective, and it is not matching at this time. It's like a war happening between your point of views and the people's point of views. So boundary protection is very important, and stay focused on your goals.